Welcome. Thank you for stopping by and visiting my session. My name's Laurie Lewis. I'm an intermittent fasting coach, and what I'll be speaking about today is 4 ways that intermittent fasting can change your life and how to start now. So I'm envisioning you that you are a person who's curious and committed to living well and being well. And all of the ways that we think about being well and living well include sleep, meditation, movement, music, dance, nutrition, sex, camaraderie, friendship. Having a disease-free body, a calm and joyful mind, a relationship with the divine, and enjoyment of food and enjoyment of beauty and life. And would you believe me, I hope you will, if I told you that having an established, peaceful, blissful, daily intermittent fasting practice will elevate, uplift, and enrich all of those other exquisite aspects of life? That's what we're going to talk about today. So I imagine that your curiosity was piqued for a variety of reasons. I'm guessing I've coached thousands of people, so I feel like I might know you. But take a minute, if you will, and think about why you clicked on this session. Now, maybe you're someone who's going through them all and watching them all. Very smart. But what piqued your curiosity about intermittent fasting? It's often called time-restricted eating. I just call it eating in a pattern of time. The time I eat, the time I don't eat. What interested you in that? What are you dealing with? Do you have a recent diagnosis that has you concerned? Maybe you're taking more and more medications as the years go on. Maybe you need to lose the baby weight and the baby's 14 years old. Maybe you're just feeling sluggish and want more energy to do all those things that you love in life, that you're envisioning for the rest of your life. Maybe you just want to feel better. So bring all of those aspects of you to this conversation, and I'm going to bring all that I've got to this conversation. And by the end, you'll have all the information and inspiration you need to start eating in a pattern of time. So why would a person want to do that? I'll tell you where I was at this point in my life. Maybe right where you are. A tale of 2 vacations. The vacation on the left in 2016, where I had hit menopause, gained 50 pounds of stubborn hormonal fat that would not let go of my body. I tried for 4.5 years. Nothing worked. The old things that had worked in the past didn't work anymore. And then fast forward 2 years later to that second picture, I lost the 51 pounds. I could fit back into all of my clothes from 2012. I'm hiking in the Italian Alps, steep altitude elevation, long miles, wearing my skinny hiking pants. In between that skinny green line, June 12th, 2017, I'm home in Colorado visiting my mom, having a tearful conversation with her because she just said to me, "Honey, let's really work hard to turn this weight around." Wow. I had been trying, as I just said, everything for years, and that the hormonal fat would not budge. Plus, my head was in a brain fog. My memory was failing. My equilibrium was off. I fell down an entire flight of steps in the New York City subway. I was really off. I was not feeling like myself. The only way to describe it was I felt like an alien had taken over my body. So June 12th, 2017, I just was at the end of my rope, despondent and hopeless, feeling like the rest of my life was just all downhill from here. Like I'm just going to get fatter and sicker forever. I don't know what happened, but I clicked on something that up popped a video on intermittent fasting. I watched that one. I watched the next one. I watched the next one. I watched the next one. And the next morning I went downstairs and I said to my mom, wow, I am starting this thing now. Like the minute I found out about it, I started. So I want to entice you to consider everything that I'm going to give you today. You are going to be able to start now too. Okay. So let's see. The next thing I wanted to tell you, oh yes, was that, as the picture said, I lost 51 pounds in 15 months, which could seem like a long time, 15 months, but it did fly by. And the best part was that within 3 days, I started to feel like myself again. 3 days. The fog lifted. I got clearer. I seemed settled in my body. I was happy. It felt good. And I knew that I was on an amazing journey of wellness simply by pausing from eating every day and then fully enjoying the foods that I was eating in my eating window. So, as promised from the beginning, I said I would share the top 4 reasons why a person would want to begin intermittent fasting. Number 1, your body is in repair. This is not a deprivation. This is not a stress or a strain. When we pause from eating, when we pause from taking in any nutrition or any food type flavors, the body goes to work. It's so happy that you're giving it the gift of this pause, the pause of repair, the pause of healing. I call my fasting hours my healing hours. Okay, so there's a deep cellular repair process that happens called autophagy. And when you're in the fasted state, the old broken down junky cells get taken apart, polished up, buffed up, reconfigured, and they are just as good as new. People's scars disappear, the skin gets smoother, hair gets thicker. It's just amazing. So you can trust that from head to toe, your gut, your liver, your blood, your heart, your skin, all aspects of your body are in repair during the fasting hours. Oh, and major fat burning going on. I know we're all interested in that. Okay, the next thing that happens, the most, gosh, I think this is the biggest surprise, that the mind gets very quiet. The noise, the fixation on food, the fixation on how we feel, the fixation on what food I'm having next, it just gets quiet. There's a reason that fasting is part of all spiritual, religious, meditative practices. It quiets the mind. It gets a little more space in there for new thoughts, new ideas. Quiet. Next thing is a consistent, bright, productive energy. Some people have surges of energy. Other people are like, I'm not having those surges, but they feel an even calm, right? So the even energy, not the surges way up and way down, not the 3 p.m. massive crash or slump, even, bright, productive energy. Okay, number 4. This is going to blow your mind. Imagine pausing from eating, having all those hours of repair, and then the complete, full enjoyment of food. No dieting, no counting, no measuring, enjoyment. Right now, the hormones, the hunger hormones especially, well, all the hormones, we have 50 hormones doing an extraordinary job in a network of hierarchy of communication, but we have hunger hormones. And one of the most important aspects that heals and repairs with intermittent fasting are those hunger hormones. The appetite center, the apostat in our brain gets repaired, and our body begins to inform us of the foods that it desires and how much to eat. It tells you when to keep eating and when to stop. It's amazing. If you've never had that experience of knowing that you've really had enough food and you don't want more food, mostly our body tells us that we really should stop eating because we're stuffed and we can't stop. With intermittent fasting, the brain, the hormones, the body are all aligned. And when the brain says you've had enough, you literally can't eat anymore. And what that provides is that you can eat foods you love guilt-free. Savor the deliciousness of your food. Sit, put it on a beautiful plate, have a great conversation, and love your food. So foods that you may have, they may be on your forbidden list. You love them. You feel terribly guilty for eating them. You're bad if you eat them. You can't remember the last time you ate them. No. Full enjoyment of the foods you love. Imagine that. I'm going to throw in a bonus. The bonus reason why intermittent fasting is so amazing is you're saving time and money. Oh, that sounds like 5 and 6. Okay, that sounds like two separate things. They are, but saving time and money. Not buying so many groceries, not preparing all the food, not spending so much time shopping, cleaning up, chopping. When I first started intermittent fasting, I used all my hours that I would normally be eating. I used that time to devour knowledge. So I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Laurie Lewis. As you learned in the beginning, I was a despondent, sad, hopeless, upset, overweight, in pain, in a fog woman. 50, how old was I at the time? 55. Yep, 55. I'm 57 now. Years ago, I've had an interest in nutrition for years, over 20 years. I broke myself of a sugar addiction long ago, and I got a health coaching certification at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition many years ago. And so now that I've had this personal practice and success with intermittent fasting, hundreds of people came to me for help. I created a workshop. I've been leading my own online programs for several years now, live on Zoom, and I coach people one-on-one, and my life is amazing. There is no greater joy that I have working with a person who's fearful, like, is it going to be hard? And will it work for me? You know, starting that relationship and working with people over time. And then they call me one day and they're like, you're not going to believe this. My doctor just told me my A1C is 5.5. I'm no longer diabetic. Woo! Or my doctor said I could lower my thyroid medications, or I slept through the night like a baby. I can't remember the last time I slept so well. Like all these wins. One of my biggest wins was, you know, I started, as I said, intermittent fasting because I wanted to lose this 50 pounds that came on with menopause. Never did I imagine that scars would smooth out and my plantar fasciitis disappeared. You know, that horrible pain that shoots pain from your feet up to the top of your head? Well, it's gone. So people find that autoimmune diseases, type 2 diabetes, thyroid, just the list, hundreds and hundreds of physical, mental ailments that people are challenged with, anxiety, adrenal fatigue, are diminished or disappear with this intermittent fasting practice. So how do you start now? You're like, sign me up, lady. Stop talking about all the benefits and tell me what to do. Okay, here's how to start. Let me just check my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, we're good. So there are two parts to every day. Every intermittent faster knows this. There's the fasting part and the eating window. And you get to say how long both of those parts are, but they add up to 24 hours. So let's Start easy. Today, what time are you going to stop eating? Let's say 8 p.m. It could be 7, could be 6, could be 7:45. It could be 10. It's up to you. So, what time are you going to start? What time are you going to stop eating? Say it out loud. Now, you're going to drink plain water. You're going to go to bed. Maybe you'll go to bed early to get your mind off of the snacks that you want. You're going to sleep well. You'll wake up tomorrow, drink some more plain water. You'll have a plain black coffee or perhaps a plain green tea or black tea. And 12 hours after you said you're going to start fasting, you get to have breakfast. There you go. You just fasted for 12 hours. And if you kept up a 12-12 schedule forever, research shows that you would live longer. So that's a viable intermittent fasting schedule, 12-12. Now, let's look at your goals. If your goals are to reverse type 2 diabetes, if your goal is to lose 50 pounds, if your goal, whatever your goals are, you want to look at how you could increase those fasting hours, decrease the eating window, and reach your goals over time. Remember, I lost 51 pounds in 15 months. And I had some long stalls in there. I could tell you someday about all of that and how I broke those stalls. And in fact, there's a wonderful podcast called Intermittent Fasting Stories. Jen Stevens, who wrote Delay, Don't Deny, has this fabulous podcast. And I'm episode 4, if you'd like to know more about my story. Okay, set your time. You went for 12 hours. And now I'm going to explain how to actually fast correctly, because you are going to read and hear so much information that isn't going to serve you. Some people say you're allowed to have this and that. Okay. You don't want to ingest anything that's going to raise insulin and stop the fat burning process. You don't want to ingest anything that's going to get digestion going. People think, what about this detox tea? No, it revs up your digestion. What about a little ginger, a little lemongrass in my green tea? Nope, no flavors. What about a squeeze of lemon in my water? Nope. Okay, so here's what it is to fast clean. Plain water, plain, unflavored water of any temperature that you like, hot or cold or medium. Any sparkliness that you like or don't like. Still water, sparkly water, all the way up to Topo Chico giant bubbles, okay? So plain, unflavored water. Plain, unflavored black coffee with nothing in it. Bitter, bitter, bitter black coffee. If you're not a coffee drinker, don't have that. Or if you're addicted to your candy coffee, save it for your eating window, okay? It is worth it. Plain black tea or plain green tea. Again, bitter. No Earl Grey, no orange flavors, no lemongrass, no ginger. Plain bitter tea leaves. Also, minerals, electrolytes like magnesium or little high quality salt. If you're not feeling super well, you can put a few grains of high quality salt under your tongue and you'll get right through a hunger wave. It'll make a little wooziness. It'll go away. It'll brighten up how you feel. Just a few grains of salt. Okay, here we go. I'm going to review. 2 parts every day. Say what time you're going to stop eating. Fast clean for at least 12 hours. Boom, eat. Every day, you're going to increase those fasting hours and decrease the eating windows. Some people are speedy and they just go right to 19 hours fasted. Other people like to do 15-minute increments. There's no correct way. The correct way is the way in which you feel at home and that you will be developing a sustainable intermittent fasting practice that you can continue forever. And forever, yes, because it's such a blissful, healthful practice. Did you ever consider that human beings throughout all time have always intermittent fasted? There's food available and then no food available, and then food available and no food available. And that's how we survived as a species. Never before in human history has there been an abundance of available food and flavors in our water, spiking our insulin and causing our bodies to store fat and having us be sicker and sicker and fatter forever, and causing hormonal imbalances, are all caused by constant eating. So let's be, this could be considered a new trend. Okay, maybe you just heard about it. It's all the rage, super trendy. But this is the oldest, most natural way for the human body to survive and thrive. Okay, the best part is once you eat, you get to eat as you please. Eat well. No dieting, no calorie counting, no points counting. Eat foods you love and foods that love you back. It will take a while to develop the discernment of choosing the foods that love you back. But that's one of the miraculous things of intermittent fasting, is that through your fasting practice, your body has a heightened discernment of what's good for it. And it will push you with no willpower towards what is best for it. But in the beginning, fast clean, fast longer every day. You might settle in at 16:8 for a while. You might like to move towards 19:5. Do you know how much delicious food you can eat in a 5-hour eating window? And then how much time and money you save? It's delightful. It's fabulous. Okay. And then eat foods you love. Next thing. Oh yeah. Gradually increase. Oh, I want to remind you, if anybody says this is going to tank your metabolism, no, 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 no. After a few weeks, you're going to be in a fat burning mode every day. Once you get past 16 hours of fasted, your body is really revved up in fat burning mode. And once you're in fat burning and then you're eating well, that combination of no dieting, but you're eating well, you're communicating to the body, there's no famine, and you're fat burning, the metabolism goes up. Isn't that the best? Okay. Oh, another thing that people always ask is, can I move it around? What if I get invited to a lunch, or someday in the future? What if I get invited to a lunch? What if I get invited to a dinner? What if there's a conference? What if? Yes, move it around. If there's a wedding celebration, the eating window and the fasting hours are flexible. You can move it around and make it work for your life, your body, your goals. Isn't that, it's just too good to be true, right? So the next thing that you want to think about is, you have enough to start. You have enough info to start. You know what the clean fast is. You know how to set your hours. You know that it's flexible. You know how to increase. You know that the first 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks, there might be some hiccups, some real hunger waves. It's an adjustment period for sure. The first 2 to 4 weeks are an adjustment period, but you're going to be smooth sailing so quickly. In the first week, all my clients come back and report just lists and lists of surprises that happen in the first week. And once you're settled in and life is happening, the next logical thing to ask is, how do I keep it going? How do I really do this with vacations and wedding weekends and life's challenges and work conferences? How do I do this in life over time? There's so many great resources. There are books. I even wrote one. It's called Celebrating Your Vibrant Future. Jen Stevens, my mentor, has just really an exquisite book on intermittent fasting called Delay, Don't Deny. She has a new book coming out with more up-to-the-minute research. It's research chocked full, called Fast, Feast, Repeat. The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. Dr. Bert Herring's incredible book called AC, The Power of Appetite Correction. Kim and Ryan Smith's book, Unbelievable Freedom. There's so many resources. There are Facebook groups, there are apps, there are videos, and there are coaches. So I'm an intermittent fasting coach. And the reason for having a coach is it's like the same thing like you would go to the yoga studio and have a highly trained person guide you. You want the accountability, you want the camaraderie. You want a person to make sure you're doing it right and that you're achieving your goals. You want your questions answered immediately. So it's great to have a coach by your side. Troubleshooting, when things aren't quite working, or you're challenged, or you have reached a certain level of success, but you're not quite to your goal yet, having a partner, having an experienced guide to help you troubleshoot and then apply some of the tips and tweaks makes all the difference in the world. So I love my work, and I would love to support you. Once you've heard this, once you've started, if you'd like to go to my website, it's called Fast Forward Wellness. I'll just put it up there, fastforwardwellness.com. You can contact me and you can say, hey, Laurie, I attended the summit and I'd really like to have you give me a session. It's normally $260 one session, but I would be happy to work with you for 75 minutes for $150. Okay, so you have to remind me. So contact me right away. We'll have a chat. We'll get you started. I listen and we really dig in that 75-minute session and kind of write a prescription and make a plan for you, which is really, really fun. And then you just live right into that. I always say I set you up, I settle you in, and then set you free, because this is a sustainable, blissful, peaceful practice that you will want to do forever. Intermittent fasters don't ever want to stop. When I was getting close to my goal, people always asked me, are you going to keep doing this when you reach your goal weight? And the answer is yes. So for almost 2 years now, I've been at my goal weight. How many people do you know, yourself included, who went on a diet, who were able to maintain their goal weight over time? This is the way to live. So I'm going to review. Here's my top tips. There are 2 parts to every day. Fast, squeaky clean. Don't listen to those people who say that you can have lemon and broth and cream and so forth. No. We don't want to send any food signals to the brain. We want to keep insulin low and burn fat, okay? And take full advantage of autophagy, that deep cellular repair. Fast, clean. Eat very, very well, okay? No dieting. Create a positive environment around you that will uplift your fasting practice. So all the other things that you're committed to, whether it's meditation, movement, sleeping well, nutrition, all of those things will be uplifted by your fasting practice. So create that positive environment of other healthful practices and healthy, positive-minded people around you too. And then another tip is to have at least 2 other things that you're measuring. How are you measuring your success other than the scale? Okay, so having goal pants, goal jeans, goal clothing, measuring yourself, having DEXA scan. I really, really encourage you to not have the scale as your only data point. Okay, so I am thinking of you starting tonight. Okay, so again, what time are you going to stop eating? I'm celebrating your vibrant future. I'm envisioning your body in repair, your enjoyment of food, your clear, bright energy, your calm, peaceful mind, and your life as an intermittent faster. Cheers. Well done. Let's celebrate. Okay. Look at my website. Send me a note. I would love to hear from you. Have a great day.